We looked at our big blog success classroom, and that's where I want to get back to, because unlike Backtrack SEO and all these other classes, this one's a little bit deeper, and they all work about the same. So once you know how this one works, you'll know how they all work. Okay, so on the right hand side are videos that are meant to be done in order. Generally, what you want to do is hit the first one and go for it, and it's the one that will always be up on the screen when you first hit. Generally, when you're going through a class, it will show you all the videos on the right side. You can watch any of those you want, and then there will be some really cool stuff related to the content here. We'll always put resources underneath the video that you're on, pertinent to the video that you're on. So if in the video you're asked to go to a certain site and do something, the link to that site will be down here, plus any supporting material, any guides that we've done, any places that you need to visit in order to support you learning what you learned in the video or what we go over in the video will be down here. So this stuff is pretty important. You'll see these are the topics again. These are just links that go to the different tabs up above. They're the same thing. Pro blogging mindset, market research, content development, and so on. This is the important information under this particular video, what to do. First things first. Then you've got resources down here. Getting started is a guide that you can click on and read. This might change, but there's always going to be some sort of written guide so that you don't have to watch videos all the time. And other things lend themselves a lot better in print than they do on video. So, okay, so you'll see that there's a lot more here. Getting traffic. We're always going to say something in the first video about, you know, generally what you need to think about during this course and the other things that you need to be aware of. Like here in Getting Traffic, Backtrack SEO and that classroom right here is going to be very important to you because SEO is a big part of getting traffic. So we also link to it down here so that you don't forget that there's another place that you need to go when you start focusing on SEO as part of your Getting Traffic class. That's where you want to go. The webinars that we've done that are pertinent to this topic of getting traffic. So not only do you have access to the webinars up here, training webinars, and you can go through them in order, things like that. We've also sprinkled them throughout the training classroom so that you don't lose track. And you know that there's right now, it looks like 3 webinars that are directly pertinent to the Getting Traffic module of this classroom. And you're going to want to watch those webinars. That's why we put them there. And any other information that you need, module resources, there's a complete guide to getting traffic. That's the written part of the traffic system. And it leads you to all kinds of other content here on the site in a step-by-step fashion so that you can become a traffic driving pro. I mean, literally, you'll be able to be a consultant for local businesses or all kinds of different people. When you're done with this training, you will be certified. Although we don't have a formal certification program, you'll be able to show your chops big time with your ability to put sites up that get attention and get search engine rankings and things like that. So a lot of people here actually have gone on to consulting. They've started out with blogs and they've got their own things going on, but they're more than happy to include consulting in what they offer because there's so many people that don't know this stuff. And once you know it, it becomes pretty easy for you to understand where it's completely mysterious for everyone else. And that's where consultants come in and people are willing to pay you to do stuff for them and help them with things. So there's a lot of real opportunity here beyond just what you signed up for. Also, we have quizzes. So once you get through a module, let's say you go through all of these videos, you get all the way down, and you've gone through all of this stuff, you've done the webinars, and we change these quizzes often to be challenging, but you can quiz yourself, and you can make sure that you're on track, and it won't recommend that you go on to the next tab if you score below, I believe it's 70% or 80%. Make sure to take the quizzes when you feel comfortable, or take them early and see how much you already know, and see if you can get all the answers right. Some of them are going to be specifically asking about information in this course, so it'd be hard to ace it right off the bat. Okay, and this is how the rest of all of the classrooms work, the rest of this classroom works. So wherever you go up here, whether it's the Twitter classroom or anywhere else, they all work this way. Okay, this is where you're going to be spending a lot of your time initially because you're going to be taking these classes, you're going to be taking what you learn and applying them. And please, my biggest thing is don't become a professional student. the best way to learn how to do this stuff is to take these classes, but go out on the web, on your own domain, on your site, and apply them. Go to Facebook, Twitter, and Dig, and all these other places, and apply what you learn immediately, as soon as possible, so that it can be ingrained. And that's the best way to do it. Don't go through all the training and then go, okay, now I'm going to set up my blog. You can't do it that way. I mean, it's just not going to work as well. You want to go until we say it's time to set up your blog, and then you go set up your blog. And if you need information on WordPress, how to do all of that stuff, it's all here on the WordPress Classroom. So any questions you have as you're going through that portion of your training and you're setting up your site for the first time, it's all supported right here. Speaking of support, we make a big deal out of our support. We have one of the best support guys on the planet. Dave Olson is your friend, and we have other people in support, but Dave is the head of tech support, and he will help you with all kinds of things. The first thing that you want to do when you're trying to get support or you have a question is go into the forum and see if there's anything in the technical section. In fact, one of the things that you can do is ask a question. How do I? I'm going to be very general just so I can pull up some stuff. And when you do that in the search area, you're going to pull up all this different stuff from the forums predominantly, because that's where people ask that stuff. How do I? Forum topic. How do I add my sponsors? How do I decide how much a site is worth? How do I? You can type pretty much anything in here, and there's going to be usually some kind of answer. It might not be the best answer. It might not perfectly suit your situation. If you can't find anything there, or in the FAQs, then go ahead and click on support and ask your questions, ask away. We'll give you information on how to solve your problem, and if we go through a certain amount of effort and it's just not working at all through support, but Dave will even he's logged on people's sites before and helped them with certain technical things that, you know, they don't really need to know. It's a weird little thing that probably will never happen again, so it's not a teaching moment. It's more of a let's get you back up on the web if your site's down or whatever, things like that. I mean, we have the best support in the business, but do please check the FAQs in the forum. This is the technical forum that most of this will come up in, and people use the heck out of it. So there's quite a library of questions and answers from Dave that you can go through in the forum and quickly find on your topic. So rather than wait for support to get back to you, which we don't take very long to get back to anyone, but you know, if you're working and you don't want to lose your flow, the answers might very well be in search. So just make sure you remember that, and you can get the answer to most of your questions right here and get right on with the work that you're doing. If it's 4 in the morning, Dave's probably not awake yet, and you're going to have to wait until he gets in, and there's going to be other support tickets. So if you can get your question answered yourself here, that's the best way to go, because then you don't break the flow. You can get your problem taken care of with answers that are provided by other members who have done the same thing, been in the same boat, whatever that might be. All right, so that's your Blog Success membership in a nutshell. And again, thank you so much for continuing to be a member of Blog Success, or if you're new, thanks so much for giving this a try. Let us know if there's anything that we can do for you, make easier for you, any content that you'd like to see, anything you'd like to see on webinars on Mondays, and we'll be glad to help. That's what we're here for. Thanks so much, and we'll be talking to you soon.